Good evening, everyone. This is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my monthly Friday Folds class. I'm going to give everybody a few more seconds to join me tonight. I can see everybody coming on. Okay, just a few things before I get started. Just a reminder that I only have a few more days left in the month of December for my 20% off. A reminder again that this is my way of saying thank you to all of you for supporting me throughout the year. And this also includes the clearance rack and the year-end sale also. So the sale prices, plus I'm giving you 20% off on that also. So just a reminder, only a few more days left. My next item I want to discuss, January 3rd, there's going to be an awesome deal concerning joining my team during celebration. So anyone that joins during celebration can add this carry-all bag into their kit. You actually get to pick $175 worth of Stampin' Up products, and that's from the annual catalog and the occasions catalog. And you pay $129 free shipping, and you get this bag as a bonus offer. So I have a lot of you guys that have contacted me already that are going to be joining my team, and I can't wait to have you be part of my team. If you have any questions on this, make sure you ask in the comments, or you can private message me. Only a few days left for my December door prize, which is the Take Your Pick tool. Anybody that has ordered with me the month of December, your name will be entered into my drawing. And I'm also going to show you what I'll have for a drawing for January. This is the Hello Cupcake. It's a celebration stamp set. So this will be my drawing for anyone that orders during the month of January, which we're almost there. Okay, so tonight I'm going to give you a few sneak peeks of some new products. I'm using the Sweetest Thing stamp set. And then inside I have the Jar of Sweets Framelits dies. Now, one thing that is really cool about these dies, let me bring in the How Sweet It Is designer paper, which is also some brand new paper that you'll see in the occasions catalog. This is one of the sheets. And look at these dies. You can actually cut out three of these images. So how neat is that? And then you also have the stamp sets that you can cut out. So you can either use the stamp set or the designer paper. So I just thought I'd show that to you. I think that is so neat. Okay, I'm going to need this one tonight. I'm also going to use the two labels. Good evening, everyone. I can see everybody coming on. So I have been away for over 2 weeks doing videos. It just got too busy during Christmas time, and I had to cancel some of my classes. So I may be a little rusty tonight. Let me show you what else I'm going to be using. This is Pineapple Punch cardstock. I've got Gorgeous Grape, Melon Mambo, Granny Apple Green, and white. These are all scrap pieces. And then I've got Whisper White, 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I'm using the new designer paper that I just showed you, How Sweet It Is. I'm using the one with the stripes. I've got 2 pieces. They're both 1 inch wide. This one is 4 inches long. And this one is 2 1/4 inches long. And let me show you what we're making tonight. Now, the inspiration for my card came from a card that I had received while on the Stampin' Up incentive trip in Alaska. This is the card that I received. So it's a triple panel card. and the flap on the front folds over on top of the other two panels. I like the way she had decorated the inside. This is the Twinkle Twinkle set. I'm not sure who to give credit to because it's a little tiny stamp right there. It looks like it's in German, and I can't read the person that stamped this. So anyway, this is the card we're making, except it's going to be different. Let me bring my version in. So this is the one I made, and it opens the same way, the triple panel, and then I've got the nice white layer on the inside. So that's what I'm going to show you how to make tonight. Let me see what else we need. We need the circle number 2 from the Stitch Shape Dies. Oh, I see a lot of love going. You guys like that. This is from the Swirly Scribbles. It's the number 2 swirly. And then these 3 dies from the new set. And let me see what else. I've got Happiness Blooms Enamel Dots. These are new also from the Occasions catalog. And for ink colors, Melon Mambo, Granny Apple Green, Coastal Cabana, and Gorgeous Grape. So let's get started. Let me bring in my paper trimmer. And we're going to cut the cardstock at 10.5 by 5.5. And then I'm going to score at 2 1/4. And again, make sure that you use the score tool and not the cutting tool. That's why I made note on mine with a permanent marker. So 2 1/4 and 6.5. And then I'm going to fold on both score lines. And the small flap on the top is the one that's going to fold over the larger one. Now, what I'm going to do first is stamp the sentiment. Okay, I forgot to dig out my sentiment. Here it is. Now, when you have a long stamp like this, so it's kind of good that I didn't take this out. Sometimes when you put this on your clear block, you might end up going crooked. So what I usually do is I let it fall on the paper, and then I grab it with my stamp, and it's always straight. So let me bring in the Gorgeous Grape. Now that's going to go on the panel that folds towards the center. And I'm going to do that right at the bottom and a little bit to the right. Okay, so that takes care of the sentiment. Now I'm going to glue the little striped pieces. And one is going to go on the little flap on the front. And the other one goes on flap number 2. Okay, so that takes care of that. The rest I have to do is bring in the Big Shot and a little bit of stamping. So let me bring in all of my scrap pieces. I'm going to start out with Melon Mambo. Thanks for sharing, you guys, because you will, when you share my video, you'll be entered into my drawing to win the card for tonight. Okay, so I just stamped the pretty label. Next is going to be the little jar image. And that's with the Granny Apple Green. I'm going to get my blender pen close by because I'm going to color with the inked lines. So there's the little jar. Isn't that adorable? So I'm just going to grab the ink that I just stamped with. And I'm just going to do the outside. It's just enough to add a little bit of color. I'll show you what that looks like. And next I'm going to add the little candy image. Let me see, I'm going to do the Gorgeous Grape first. Let me bring in my chamois so I can clean. I'm going to stamp one at a time in color just so the ink doesn't dry up on me. So again, I'm using the ink from the image itself to do the coloring. The next color is Melon Mambo. So you can see how easy it is to color the images this way. Let me clean my stamp and we'll do one more with the Coastal Cabana. Okay, so that's all set. Now my other image I'm going to stamp is this cute little treat sentiment. And that's with Gorgeous Grape. And let me see what else we need. Okay, I've got that all done, So now I'm just gonna bring in the Big Shot so I can cut everything out. So with the Gorgeous Grape, oh, my husband's being funny. He's sharing my video. Wouldn't it be funny if he won my card? Okay, this is the stitch circle shape. Next is the little squiggly from the Swirly Scribbles. Now, let me just make sure this cuts through because sometimes I have to use this shim. Nope, this one's pretty good. All the little pieces popped out. I am using my precision base plate, so that does make a difference. So there's my little swirly. Next, we're going to cut the stamped images. I lost one of my labels. And the little jar. Now let me just add some washi tape just so this doesn't move on me. So I hope everybody had a nice Christmas. I'm sure everybody was busy. We were. Okay, now I'm going to cut these two pieces out. So there's the little sentiment, and there's that cute, adorable jar. And lastly, we're going to cut out the label. Let me get one of my washi pieces. And then there's the cute little label piece. So now let me bring in my card. And the first thing I glued down was the circle, the stitch circle. And you can see that some of it extends beyond. So we're only going to add glue to half of it. Next is the little swirly scribble. So for those of you that are not demonstrators, you must be anxious to start ordering from the new catalog. The Celebration catalog is fantastic this year. We have some really nice products you can earn for free. Okay, so there's my swirly. Next, I'm going to glue the label using dimensionals. And I'm going to extend it a little to the right. Then we have the cute little jar. And I'm only going to add dimensionals to the right side and liquid glue on this side. And that goes right there. Now, you know what I did? I shouldn't have added the dimensional so low. I need to move that. I forgot about that extending over. Okay, all fixed. Lastly, on the front of the card is the little label. Or actually, I gotta add some bling too. We can't forget the bling. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers here on the front. Isn't that cute? Now I'm going to bring in the new Happiness Blooms enamel dots. I'm going to use the lovely lipstick color. I'm adding 1 to the little knob on the jar and then 2 off to the side. So that's my front of the card. Now I want to show you how I did the inside. So I did a little bit of masking. I'm going to bring in 2 of the images. And the Whisper White layer. Now, what I've gone ahead and done, I used the Post-it note. I stamped this image, and I stamped it so that the sticky part is right here. And then I knew that I was only going to be masking the right-hand side of it, so I only cut off the right-hand side. Now, when masking, in order for it to show up properly where the inked lines butt up against each other, my tip is to always cut off the ink lines because you want it to be a little bit smaller than the image. So let me show you what I mean by that. So we're going to do the Gorgeous Grape. And I'm quickly going to use the ink lines again to color. And I'll explain the masking as I do it. Okay, so there's my colored image. Next is the Coastal Cabana. Now this one is a little bit taller. So now I'm going to use my mask. And when I place it, I'm going to make sure that I can see the ink lines from the image below it. And then I'm going to stamp that right on top of the Post-it note. And when I remove this, see how perfect that is? Let me see if I can get another piece of white to show you why I did it the way I did it. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by cutting it smaller. So if I were to use my mask and cover the ink lines so you don't see them at all, I'll show you what happens. You have a little bit of space showing. So by placing the mask over the image and making sure a little bit of the ink lines show up, it blends in better. I hope that makes sense. Now that I did all this talking, my ink, the ink on my image dried up. So let me grab some from the ink pad. I should have colored this before I did my little tip. So I'm just coloring on each side of both images, and it really does make a difference. It makes everything just pop. Okay, so there's the 2 candy jars. The last step is with the happy birthday image sentiment. That goes right on the bottom. I'm going to bring my paper cutter in only because I got a little bit of ink on the bottom. I'm going to trim that up just a little bit, just to remove that ink. And then I'm going to glue this on the inside of the card. So there's card number 1. And then we've got card number 2. So let me close this one and I'll keep this one open so you can see them both. So that's my card for tonight. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you leave me some comments and I'll get back to them. I will also go back once the video is over and posted. I usually go in and edit the very top and put all the measurements that I use so you guys will know, and also a list of the supplies. So thanks so much for joining me tonight, everyone. I will be back with you on Monday for my paper pumpkin alternative projects. So I'll be listing that. And then also next week is my Tuesday technique. So I've got 2 more classes coming right up. So I'll see you guys all next week, and Happy New Year, everyone. Have a good night.